We marvel at the serenity of the forest and crave the shroud of its silence. Do we have chat on screen? No chat on screen. Okay. Okay, settings. Okay, we can do this. I don't think it's going to detract too much from the thing to have my bars on the screen. If you guys don't mind it too much. Let's stick to basic font. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept the struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and possibly get rid of beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. We go! Alright, we're gonna stick with standard. What are advanced options? That's too complicated. Preset options. Stick to standard. Standard! The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood, good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You're supposed to be meeting with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and peddlers, but not beast folk nor trolls, and the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. It had a long day. What is a palfrey? Is that a horse? I need to look around cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt anyone knows the clatter of hooves. The short dry grasses barely cover any of the arid soil of the valley. Maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb into the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years for getting overgrown for good. I believe it's the only route north. Speak inside. Your heavy boots hit the ground. The pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out and breathe your back, and bring your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. You look at your axe when we need it here. The camp does look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened, looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them's holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. It takes him a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but doesn't reach for it. Take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she protects herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sitting here half a year ago, these two surely look the part. Though there should be more of them, 8 if you believe. Let them speak first. It's nice to see an unharmed traveler in this godforsaken shithole. It makes me be just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong yet timid. He'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armored woman. Her voice switches from half-asleep to relaxed. We do our best to keep this camp safe. But if you were to take the first watch, it'd be a huge help. Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? Think for a moment. To fully rest, you need good sleep. Sure, leave it to me. Midnight shoved your hand together. I remember the last time I had more than half a night's sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us if anything happens. It's easy to wake us up, just yell. Ask him about the lieutenant. Stick with friendly. Told me with your lieutenant. Oh wait, can you see like different options? Well, this out of sight. Dust off again, steps towards you. She pays a little attention to the sword on her side. You most definitely can, you and I. Though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you the messenger? Did you lose your mount? You're looking for help. I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really, the soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece, all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds Lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. And Tulia, by the way. Shake your hand. Can't change it. Fox. Fox. I'm so confident the shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. You don't need to smell its dung. There's just one issue, is what your shirt illustrates. You're no tent to spare you all. You'll have to use a blanket or something. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, I forgot. There's not... Hold on. There it is. Bam. Got it. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it's strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Like a library fox. How appropriate. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from conquests in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. The powerful needs you to survive. Without it, you too will be lost. It's my only companion here. I want it to feel at ease. Takes a few steps towards you, scolding with you with another start. A snort. She grabs the bottom of his neck, with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Look, we're dropping frames again. Humans see useful animals, even pets, as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Room in the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. It takes a couple minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. Never brought that many things, and you lost one of their sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. First of all, you have no rope left. Maybe the soldiers could share one. It shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions, essential for your trade. Let's see here. Physical challenges. Mage uses magic, okay. Scholar knows stuff. Let's take Pig Fighter. It seems simple. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Okay. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here. Just in case, take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it more exciting. Turn to soldiers. Armor's good. Vitality's good. It's almost nightfall. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of the wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. Yeah, let's join them. Eat the meal. It's cold gruel. The meal is eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, and forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. I eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, and speak with Tulia. She's focused, and chooses her words carefully. She'll wait only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods toward the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of the summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, 1's run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story. Tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I share what I consider to be relevant. Tell the soldier how little guidance you've received. Since this area is too far away from Havlaven to keep it under control, you were warned it is untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses? Or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crossed her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I guess it'd be what? 3-4 days? When he confirms, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Havlaven officials to keep in touch with coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. But maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore. And they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp. When we travel to the roadside inn, Pell to the north, they're happy to trade, and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post. And well, he turns to Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Fox, but are you a devout soul? Let's see. The Church. Order of Truth. Community. Pagan. And then, no. I mean, I'm a fighter, I don't do magic. So we'll just do, there's no evidence of Rag's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. The man nods. I heard that most Roadwardens drift away from the churches. It doesn't matter to me, to neither of us, I think, adds the lieutenant, peeping at her companion. I just want to make sure I won't step on any touchy subject. You won't, go ahead. The people here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan. I don't think it even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy the river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it, the lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous, with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points his finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first and soon. Tully nods. Pell to the north is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeeper or the guards. Ask them about the road. Any monster worth mentioning? Anything that catches my mount? We sell all sorts of beasts, the man starts to count his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mouflon eaters, griffins, but we manage to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts, Tulia glanced at her companion. Though palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep too close to the mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. Soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast, just count on luck. And how about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. That's all I need to know. What happened to the previous Roadwarden? Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he'd stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife, without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave it dawn. Unlike us, Astarion never gets bored. So that's like a joyous chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping you in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him in Orisarian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged meat-eating saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your Palfrey is fast and reliable and won't suddenly sink its teeth in an innocent passerby. I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit. I can't hear myself talk. Do you know what he's looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, said Julia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Astarion's stuff. Wait. She raised her open palm. Almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Havlevin. I was planning to take all his things there. Ouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glanced at you, but I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We were meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you learned about the man, and we'll get back to Havlin together? You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Havlin in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy when we take away all his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything, and who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion. Battery adds nothing. She sits down and stretches her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left, just let me know. I've lost my rope. Can you spare one? You're in luck. She sits toward one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Take a closer look. I'm keeping my food. Julia nods. For now, you leave the rope on the table. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. A strong band, though, his companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel to the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would all have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers, stay there at night, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. So he sighs, very much so. They killed some and took others away. Who knows where. They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kind of worked, asked the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate, it's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp. We didn't know the enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road. Saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well? Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in the place without a good leader. And they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough. Didn't tell us that he cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. Just had a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off and he was so ashamed. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. We had to cut it off and he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north. Find a new life, disappear, idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. You've made this place safer. Barely. Tulia seems tired, and who knows if it was worth the lives and the effort. What was your squad's mission? The lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the roads safe, keeping people alive. I explained that it may be important for me to know what they try to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you have any other questions? Anything I should know about this camp? Yeah, sorry, my nose is running. I don't know, I thought this happened during He Who Fights the Monsters as well. I think it's just me trying to just talk. The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra set shop for mules and donkeys, just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned, from time to time serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in the spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here wherever you want, the man concludes their tale. But don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. You and me, where would you go next? To the inn, of course. He grabs an empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road was much more traveled, which Tulia. But the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how to make a good first impression with him? Avoid cheap jokes, stick to trade, don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. How'd you become a lieutenant? It's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. And see, there's a strict order of what should I call it. She exchanges looks with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Alpha and Chief selects commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If the lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were his successor? No, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them for a spell. It's like a ball of ice hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. She pauses. I'm betting she's not. Jumping like that to save a man in the middle of attack doesn't sound like a wise decision. I agree, but so what? He's dead. I doubt he's gonna learn much from his scolding. You would throw a line, is that right? Oh, I guess she was. Basically, yeah. She has out enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to city. I prefer to follow anyway. Seems like we should prepare for the night. I agree. Tulia sighs relief. May you do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Thank you for your help. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. I prepare for my watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade, probably. Better watch out for apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud were-elk that keeps smelling the wall, though it's never tried to get in. He points at a gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if someone's being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them a rope instead. He scratches his head. If it's cold, feel free to make a fire. The best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? He gives you a long, puzzled look. Oh, here, he points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view of the northern side, the more dangerous side. Also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points to the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple hours sleeping on the ground. If you wish to go there after me, and rest just this once. At least I have a pallet inside. I smile. Thanks a lot. Put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time, your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grass. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see the three-horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a two-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beasts try to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk a fight, nor to admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking around. You hear the death screams of a distant prey and the mating call of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dust fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Oh, that's cute. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded men with just a couple words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. I gather my things and squeeze into the tent. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the pallet, and cover myself with my cloak. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it's much welcomed rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from the eerie gloom. Listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. Focus on the real goal of my journey. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with the Halvaman officers and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers, or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Halvaman. There you report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Nope, this is a game request. Coordinate request to this game. Let's see, extra coins so I can save my sibling from debt collectors. Retire early. Just become a major player. Just want to help people make streets safer. Let's just help people. Have substance or kitchen sounds of wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious. The pleasant, humid-like summer air evens out slowly. It's covering up the thing. You think about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. All I can do now is rest. You can spend the night in a board tent. It's done special. Protect you from the wind and rain. The ground will be painfully hard or cold. It's like Oregon Trail? I have no idea. Probably? Maybe? I don't know. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning rotten meat. Disgust crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. Go outside and see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near your humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks out at it contemplatively. He is the first one to address you. Fox should get you with a nod. Use the horse manure for the flames. Don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belonged to a male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. A traveler or an undead? The latter. A young one. She lacked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now, it took a couple hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength. With each soul it devours, each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most Unites hesitate to do so. Time for me to leave. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us. Or if you learn what happened to Asterion. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales. But yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this one you're going to experience in days to follow. She returns to the pyre. I prepare myself for the journey. You somehow miss the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double-check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gambeson and make sure your axe is tightly attached to your belt. Then get in the saddle. The palfrey Nicker's ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads, north from here. Travel forward and continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak with Tulia and return to Havelman. Alright, I guess we'll go north. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. But the warm summer... I'm out of water. I need to get some water. I'm talking so much, I'm getting, my mouth is getting dry. I'll be right back. Boop. Okay, I'm back. Hydrate, you got it. Alright, even at the later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet many travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, with the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes, and merge features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. Consider my options. You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually the safest approach would be to stay where you are, and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple hours. Think about your conversation with Tulia. You've got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. What does this do? I think we scatter them. Crossbows are an easy weapon to use, and you got plenty of time to aim. The creature falls inside and screams, alerting its companions. Confused, they look around, and after a while they run away, one of them limping, with your quarrel in its thigh. It shows you the best options. Ride forward. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe end by turning left. The forest to the right is lush, and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song, how did it go? The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write, for folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. Cookie! Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Eat the cookie. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. Look at my horse. What's his name? I'll keep Saddle. Saddle's peaceful as you spoke its mane. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you spent many years together. After go on, it takes a couple steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Let's go to the inn. Saddle trots with ease, unbothered by the few branches covering... Wait, it's 14 hours to dusk. Unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird sings a distant house, draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your powerful enters a canter, the beasts don't even begin a pursuit. Speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower taller than the trees. Inns like this one fit the regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away. The workers, guarded by expensive mercenaries, surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expense and labor put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet right now, right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They wear gambesons, each one of them dyed differently, yellow, green, and linen gray. I approach the gate. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. This combination of colors doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I hadn't seen a horse for years now. I just said that it's weird to see such a large jackass, huh? Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of the villages spread around Havloven. But no jackass would ever wear a saddle, I'd say. She exchanges a few words with a male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Well, this one here says there really are donkey saddles. Hey, traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? Let's see, joke. It's easy to learn, but the basics is tiring. You train different muscles than those for combat. She seems in a good mood, so let's laugh and you'll believe the lessons of her pain. You get off your horse and imitate the silly walk from the day that followed your first long journey, when your whole shell was crying. You illustrate the pain as you move your hand from your back to hips and thighs. In return, the guards tell you about the time when they had to carry their friend with bitten-off legs for 3 days straight through the heart of the woods. Meanwhile, the other guards open the gate. You may be in a good mood, the woman yells. Jacket smiles at you, but don't get so noisy when talk to our boss. The man never smiles. He has the world's suffering sculpted on his face. That's 2 people that told me not to joke with this guy. Oh, stream dropped to 0. Are we dead? Are we dead in the water? We might be dead in the water. Alright, I don't know if we want to keep going or stop. She leads you under the roof under which you had your powerful can rest. Tethered with a cord to a wooden post. Near some old hay. Once you're ready to go inside, speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry. The other guards take care of various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then, as they're splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. Two of them are making a rope. You head toward the end, hearing the piercing scream of a boar from the other side of the yard. Open the door. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire. Okay, we can get to the part we're about to leave in the call. Locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. The muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. His voice is deep and soft, with a city-like accent. He observes you with a keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I have a keg of decent ale. Wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon, today maybe, and we don't drink here before the even. I can see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, very even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. An elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in a city square. Stand at the counter. The planks let out a creak after every step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear the innkeeper made little to no noise. Here you go, he pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my belt to the north doesn't belong to Hovlin. You can sleep on the floor if you wish so, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. You may have some leftovers from dinner, but I need to check. I won't stay here long, I introduce myself. He nods and fills another mug, this time with water. I guess there's no point in waiting for Asterion then. I'm glad to see someone taking his place. Even my crew here hits the road only if they need to see healers at the Howler's Dell. And they're more than resourceful. A Roadwarden is always going to find work here in the north. Maybe not on the eastern road. He takes a mouthful of water and drinks it with a pleased sigh. There are no guests here at this time, or hardly ever. I can take a short break. For a brief moment, he meets your eyes. I'll drink the ale. The dark room and wooden walls of the mug make the liquid look as brown as chestnut. The lee and spring hits your nose, and the first step is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. Now you know why there's so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought I have. It hasn't completely dropped out yet, but it's showing me really unstable. It's in the yellow right now. And now it went back to green. There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike. They've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day they may steal our furs, and I have no doubt that the reason why merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hands together. Camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach Howler's Dell northwest from here. It's the largest settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask the mayor about Glossia, that bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid in the north. If Glossia is ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her band. He looks at a nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine? I nod. Let's see, what else do you need? What do you have for sale? I can eat something. Do you have any leftovers? Yes, I feed them to our boar. I won't give them away for nothing. Does your wait then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns a wooden bucket and a long stick, ending with a hook. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. Bring some berries. Bring me a bucket full and you'll be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something to fill you. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long, curved claw, almost black. I reached for the tools. Half an hour? That's quite a lot for berry picking. The tools are cold, not heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. The berries are not the problem, the innkeeper smirks. Like the snakes. Better scare them away with a stick or move them with a hook. And protect your hands. The little ones won't eat you. But don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Fine, I'll go right away. I should go outside and forage for berries. The innkeeper knew what he's talking about. He put on the gloves and looked through the bushes from a safe distance. It doesn't take long before you notice the first serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you or slither closer, the jabs of the hook keep them at a distance. You don't know much about these berries. They're round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such color if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh. They make sure to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through the many bushes to fill the bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. Gather the berries and go back. Return to the courtyard. Two of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. Into the inn. Locked windows make the air stuffy. The weak fire in the stove hardly lights up the hall. The innkeeper sitting on a stool looking at the flames in the stove, and holding a carrot and a knife without using them. Puts fruits on the counter. Great. He peeks inside the bucket. I've got a cabbage stew with a few goose chunks for you. I'd serve it even to merchants if there were any around. The meal is warm and filling. It's well seasoned and not overcooked. Like I said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky, and I've been cooking my whole life. Thanks. And how'd that hook might work out for you? I see you still have hands. Give him the hook. I'm fine. What do you have for sale? I can go pick up a few things for you. Some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausage. Not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk fur I don't need. This buyer was caught by a pack of red wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot. Just as nice for a wall. An almost untouchable bowl of soap. Priceless for a traveler. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Made of fine oak ash. Strong that you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mentioned you'd like something more useful in these roads, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you can take one of our crossbows and a bunch of quarrels. A yew-bow, quarrel cords, and trigger needs just a little bit of oil. It's good as you can get without soaking it in magic. It takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount to a helpful ally. Let me see what looks you have. Let's buy the quarrels. We can buy the soap too. And buy rations. Okay, we got food. I'm looking for a Asterion. How are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be much help. He rests his elbow on the table. He grunts quietly to clear his throat. But I do want you to find him, so when asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins, my half the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist anxiously. If you get my coin or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after you bring me the news. Could it be that Asterion stole the coins and ran away? He looks at a window and starts to play with his shutter. I just think Asterion ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune. I was just saying he had earned my trust. Only mine, you know. It's easy for a Roadwarden to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I've sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in the White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So let me know once you find anything, and we may return to this whole investment thing. I'll think about it. So what can you tell me about the peninsula? What What can anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name. Unless there's an old book in an archive no soul knows about. You know what I'll call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground. Glance at your eyes. But it's not us who hunt. Keep that in heart. But the beasts in all shapes and forms. His words gave confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I've lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just, once you get here and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you have only more reason to stay at the warm stove behind a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the windows. I'm sure you've heard a lot already, that people don't build hamlets anymore. There are no more ibexes from the south, and traders stay for only a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. What will I find traveling west? If there are hills nearby, then you find a village maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts almost a decade ago. Nothing to see there. The goblins live there now, so most people just travel around. And they say it's haunted, but who knows, who cares? He crossed his arms and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mention pagans, so there's nothing unusual about them. There's a small path south, which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there. But keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell, set at a clean brook. Farmers live there, and mouflons and druids. They'll let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to Ape Alien yet. Smile politely. I only know a little bit about the next settlement, Old Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they're working their quarry, and help other settlements build things in exchange for crops. The forests and hills ain't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby. In the mountains, I don't care much about them. They keep to themselves, and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me. White Marshes, set of the bogs. I've heard it smells like a griffin's lair. I've heard a lot of nasty rumors about the place, but I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. So 3 villages really. Howlers, the one near the monastery, whatever it's called, and Marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades fool you, though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them more than you need to. You wonder if something they would tell other travelers as well. We're going west, we don't really care about east. So didn't expect to find any of the size. So no thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was built long before we arrived. Anyway, you got it. It didn't work well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade, the villages stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared, and now we're prospering. When you ask him how they can afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. I'm not against running an inn. We don't rely on guests. We're the ones doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch and stay safe in the forest. In exchange for furs, claws, and bones, we get what we need, and more, both from the south and the north. He relaxes in his chair. We have a good life here. We spent a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears. But another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough savings to move to Havlevin, and now work for another day of our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. I don't want to be racist. That sounds racist. Is there a good story behind the inn's name? I mean, there's a story, but it's not a good one. He clears his throat. For years I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in my city it would be bad taste. Taverns and inns named with a single word were cheap and had a nasty reputation. There was the Claw, the Mugger, Basilisk, and Blissful, I think. The good places used at least 2 words. Empty barrel, a rose and a helmet, Empress's smile. Pighead was the exception. It was a real dive. He chuckles. In my soul, it's still just Pelt. Pelt's what we came here for, and what'll make us reach our goals. I'm not gonna be racist again. About Glossia's band. So he answers it. Okay. Any rumors worth sharing? I like to talk with people who ain't nearby. Did you know June? Who are you wondering about? I don't know. I'd ask about someone? I don't know. See, how am I going to remember names? I'm never going to remember names. So I need to go outside. You walk past the well and find a small open shed not unlike the stable, with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening stones, pincers, knives, and other tools. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are two people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe an inch long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who is wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. Greetings. The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks, focused on his task. He ain't talking. Tell him what is it you need. The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hands, then looks around and shrugs, and returns with a raised eyebrow. Oh, yeah, I guess I do. Look at the youngster. Learns trade, I see. Kind of, he answers reluctantly. Teacher pats his knee, giving him a harsh look. Kid clears his throat. Yes, but we both ain't masters, see? You see? There's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for others is boring. The man grunts a sound, though you don't understand it. Seeing your face, the boy chuckles. He said safe. Let's meet in the middle. Boring but safe. The man nods. Could you pass my clothes if they were torn? He shakes his head and then points at uneven seams on his own tunic, then grabs a crude bone needle and shows you its broken head. He wouldn't even if he had the tools, says the boy, but you can try and Haller's Deli or get rocks. Alright, we're done there. See, the woman in yellow arm is kneeling next to a brown, hairy boar which is resting on its side. The beast is not as large as the dark ones from the forest. It responds to the touch of a human's hand and brush with grateful grunting and rapid twitches of a hind hoof. No matter how friendly it appears, it's still tethered to the well. You have no doubts it is charged with leaf Soto, dead in a breath. When the warden notices you, she steps forward to the boy's disappointment. So the new Roadwarden, she points at a window with her chin, stalling the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we can use some assistance. She may be around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile, her camouflaging the touch of time on her unpowdered face. Like many red-haired people with freckles, her skin is unhealthily pale. The boar runs up to her, observing her boots, effortlessly sniffing for food beneath the beaten ground. She pats his back, but maintains her focus. How about a game or two? We have a bit of time and we can talk a bit about this and that. Maybe we'll get you a couple coins, or lose one. We can play dice or throw axes at the target. Do we have any coins to gamble? I don't see. Maybe? Let's play axe throwing. Her arrival, especially the dragon bone you pull out, are cheerfully welcomed. The guards prepare a couple wooden planks, which are leaned against the wall. There are also spectators, and you're told the other hunters are either sleeping or have duty in the tower. Remember, no magic, says one of the players. His face is deadly serious. There will be 4 participants in 8 rounds. You aim at the target drawn with charcoal. The person whose axe lands the closest to the center, a circle gets a point. Axes that fail to stay in the plank don't count. The person who has the most points at the end of the last turn becomes the winner. Do we have money? Oh, I guess we have a pouch with coins. How many coins do we have? Is it 1? I don't know. Alright, I blended in the group. You talk a lot, but also don't say much. You share casual jokes and memories and views on luck with unoptimal strategies. Sado and Tully's camp are also brought up. When you ask about the roads or locals, their stories are vague. The drinks are here. It's a poor beer made from the leftovers, after the regular brewing. It's cold, sweet, and doesn't reach your head. But you try to avoid the smell. Just don't spill anything. The boar may get sick, says the opponent with one arm. As a guest, you start with your first throw. Your axe flies well, hitting the very middle of the painted target, and piercing the plank with a pleasant thud, which makes it really difficult for other players to outperform you. A minute later, you've won the first round, but you can't expect to be that lucky every time. What does force do? Oh, I've trained excellent for years, I've got this. Even though you get 2 points, the guard in yellow armor gets 1 more. Yes, she has your fist. Not a spectre, it's chocolate her cheeky pride. After you give her a twin, she'll you then. Tell me about yourself. What was that for? After a brief giggle, her voice gets cold and serious. Now, Roadwarden, be using names and stories among friends. You ain't one. Don't make me tempt curses. See, that's foraging berries. So I've heard. Don't worry about it. Usually we forage by ourselves, but he wouldn't ask you for a dragon for a meal. He gives small jobs to people all the time, just to see who agrees to do them. Wants to judge who's of use and who's too proud for their own good. Some question about this place. That's an unusual tower. I expect it to be closer to the gate and shorter. Like in Halvin? Fair. But it ain't here to protect the gate. The stronghold was built long before we moved in, not to fight off humans. The tower is meant to be used by those who observe the deep forest. Look out for fires, dragons, and any winged creatures that are looking to roost on the roof. Baldy nods toward a man who indeed is completely bald. Has a great eye and sees well even in darkness. Any interesting creatures living nearby? Ah, here? Everything lives here. This axe. Or the other one. I clicked on the one, but it might be just far behind. I know everything's lagging. And it dropped out again. Everything lives here. She flips her hair. I swear we could saw a few dragons, a unicorn family, a battle between trolls and goblins, basically 2 beastmen. Oh, and a gargoyle, and a hunting queen. Shouts all the time. I could tell you all about them, but I won't. She winks and pats the boar on its head. You know, hunters hide their secrets. Your group seems quite attached to this boar. How could she not be? She crouches and raises the boar's head, but it steps away and squeals as someone's murdering it. Came with us from the city, just in case. We had no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meat. And it works too. Cleans the dirt. She reaches out to the beast again, but it trots away. The woman straightens up with a pleased sigh. We haven't needed to eat it so far, but it's also funny. I learned in my home village that the farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly, kind of like ibexes. So it's not such a wild, dangerous beast. But we don't let it get close to other animals, or children. What do you usually hunt for? Anything we eat or sell. If there's a partridge or squirrel or a rat, we don't complain. But when we move as a group, we look for something larger. Deers and oryx are delicious, but we don't always look for taste alone. There's value in bones, antlers, claws, tusks, things people use to make tools or sculptures. We use some of them to make tools or spears, and you can never have enough spears. She pauses, looks at a strand of her hair, and then suddenly speaks up again. You never look for furs, of course. For anything about the necromancers? It's something new, her voice lowers to whisper. I've never been to White Marshes, but over the years we've seen people moving away from there, south. They told us the place has changed too much. The priest died, I think. And the new one awakens the dead. Sorry, Roadwarden, that's all I know. If she's hiding something, she sounds convincing. I'm gonna find north from here. I'm sorry, I don't really go to those regions. We stay close to home, only sometimes to south or west. To Haller's Dell. Only to trade. They're fine with buying more than they need, since they only take wares to the coast. She takes a long breath, twirling her hair and gathering her thoughts. You know what? I've never even seen a beach. I've been living here for how many? More than 10 years now. She giggles. The only place of the sea I've seen was from Old Pagos, which is a place on a hill. I've never put a toe in salt water. She looks toward the other huntress, who confirms that her experience is the same. But Old Pagos is a good place, as long as you don't mock their odor and act nice. They'll also be kind. Paul says they're too serious for him to stand them. At least they don't bite without a reason. Thanks. She observes you with a hand casually resting her hip. Looking for knowledge about wild creatures. Never mind. We're not paying for that. And you walk away. Go to the well. Isn't there wooden roof covers? Use only as much water as I can wash myself. Splash yourself with cold water from a bucket and won't take away your smell. Enough to remove the towel and sweat from your skin or mud your clothes. Alright. Do we not rest? Oh, it's like... Oh, we're like way... So we don't... I guess we're not resting here. So I guess we're ready to leave. So I guess we'll save here. And we'll quit since we're having trouble with the stream and I feel bad. The idea was supposed to stream this, and that's why I put it off for so long. But yeah, the internet is getting really unstable, I can see it. So I guess we'll go with our backup plan, unfortunately. Which is... doing Fallout 4 and uploading it periodically to YouTube. I'll stop the recording there, though.